Good morning, everyone. We are going to continue with Act 3, Scene 2. But first, a quick recap of what I had given to you in my previous video. Earlier, I had told you that Bassanio has chosen the right casket, and Portia's happiness knows no bounds. Bassanio is also stunned with his unexpected success. He is not sure unless Portia confirms the news by giving him a kiss. Portia, she presents Bassanio a ring and warns him not to part with it on any account. Nerissa and Graciano congratulate them, and they too say that they would like to get married on the same day that Bassanio and Portia marry. In the meantime, we have Salerno who hands over a letter to Bassanio. While Bassanio is reading the letter, Portia notices that he is growing paler. She understands that the letter must have conveyed a very sad news. She tells Bassanio that she, being his life partner, has the right to share his sorrows. Bassanio tells her that his friend has to pay a heavy penalty to a merciless Jew. And we continue. Portia, is it your dear friend that is thus in trouble? She asks Bassanio that is it your dear friend who is in trouble? Bassanio says, the dearest friend to me. He is not only a dear friend but also the kindest man. The best conditioned and unwearied spirit in doing courtesies. He says that he is the kindest of man, the best intentioned and most consistent in doing kindness to others, and one in whom the ancient Roman honor more appears than that draws breath in Italy, and one who displays the old Roman spirit of honor more than any other now living in Italy. Portia asks him, what sum owes he the Jew? Means how much money does he owe the Jew? Bassanio, for me, 3,000 ducats. Means that on his behalf, he owes the Jew 3,000 ducats. Portia, what? No more? Meaning that what? Does he owe only 3,000? Pay him 6,000 and deface the bond. She says give him 6,000 instead to deface the bond or to cancel the bond, destroy the bond. Double 6,000, meaning if he doesn't agree, then give him double 6,000 and then treble that 3 times before a friend of this description shall lose a hair through Bassanio's fault. So she says double the 6,000 and then multiply that by 3 rather than allow a friend of this kind to lose a single hair through any fault of Bassanio. First, go with me to church and call me wife. So she says that before you go, let us quickly go to the church and let us get married. And then away to Venice to your friend. And then after that, you may go to Venice to your friend. You never shall you lie by Portia's side with an unquiet soul. Then she goes on to say that you must never lie by me as my husband while your mind is so distracted. You shall have gold to pay the petty debt 20 times over, meaning you will have gold to pay this trifling, this small debt 20 times over. When it is paid, means when you have given the money, bring your true friend with you. My maid Nerissa and myself, meantime, my friend Nerissa and myself, so both of us, we will live like maids and widows. Come quickly, for you shall hence upon your wedding day. You will go on your wedding day. You will leave from here even though it is your wedding day. Now make your friends welcome. And then she says, bid your friends welcome, make them welcome, show a merry cheer, be a little more cheerful. Since you are dear bought, I will love you dear. But let me hear the letter of a friend. So it says that since your friend has paid for you so dearly, I shall love you dearly. But let me hear what the letter of your friend actually says. And Bassanio, he reads the letter which has been sent by Antonio. Sweet Bassanio, my ships have all miscarried. Means, dear Bassanio, my ships have all met with disaster. My creditors grow cruel, my estate is very low, my bond to the Jew is forfeit. Meaning here, my creditors means that Antonio's creditors are becoming cruel. Antonio's means have fallen very low, meaning he does not have enough money. And my bond to the Jew has been forfeited. The bond which he had signed for 3 months, it has been forfeited. And since in paying it, it is impossible I should live, all debts are cleared between you and I, if I might but see you at my death. And so he says that since in paying the penalty to the Jew, it is going to be impossible that Antonio will survive. Means when the Jew takes the pound of flesh, it is impossible that Antonio will live. So therefore, please regard all debts between you and me are settled. So he tells Bassanio that please think that all the debts between Bassanio and Antonio, they are settled. If your love for me does not impel you to come, pay no attention to the letter. Means if your love do not persuade you to come. If your love does not, if your love for me, if Bassanio's love for Antonio does not urge him to go and meet Antonio, then he says don't pay any attention to the letter. Portia, oh love, dispatch all business and be gone. She says, oh my love, finish all your business here and go quickly. Bassanio, since I have your good leave to go away, since I've got your kind permission to go away, I shall make haste. I will go quickly. But till I come again, no bed shall ever be guilty of my stay, no rest be interposer twixt us twain. Meaning that till I come back, no sleep in bed shall lengthen my stay. Meaning I am not going to rest at all. I am not going to sleep at all. And no rest shall keep me separated from you. And he is now ready. Both of them get married. And Bassanio is all set to leave for Venice. Act 3, Scene 3. We have this particular scene which is set in Venice, a street in Venice. Enter Shylock, Celerino, Antonio and the jailer. Shylock, jailer, look to him. Look to him means that please, keep a watch on him. Tell not me of mercy. This is the fool that lent out money gratis. Jailer, look to him. So he's telling the jailer, keep him in your charge. Do not speak to me of any form of mercy. This is the fool who used to give loan without interest. Just look to him. Means keep an eye on him. Antonio, hear me yet, good Shylock. And Antonio, who is trying to talk to Shylock, he says, please listen to me. Shylock, I'll have my bond. Speak not against my bond. He just says, no, I want my bond. Don't argue, don't say anything. I just want my bond. I have sworn an oath that I will have a bond. I've taken an oath that I will have my bond. And then he goes on and says, thou callest me a dog before thou hadst a cause. Means you used to call me a dog when you had no reason to do so. But since I am a dog, beware of my fangs. And so because you called me a dog, now you should be aware of my fangs, means my teeth. The Duke shall grant me justice. The Duke will let me have justice. I do wonder, thou naughty jailer, that thou art so fond to come abroad with him at his request. And then he tells the jailer He says, I'm surprised, you good for nothing jailer, that you dare to bring him out of the jail when he has asked you to. And Antonio says, I pray thee, hear me speak, please listen to me. And Shylock says, no, he does not want to listen to him. And he says, I will have my bond. I will not hear thee speak. I just want my bond. I don't want to hear you at all. I don't want to listen to you. I'll have my bond and therefore speak no more. So he says, I must have my bond, so don't speak any further. I'll not be made a soft and dull-eyed fool. Means I shall not be turned into a soft fool with eyes dimmed with tears. To shake the head, relent and sigh and yield to Christian intercessors. So he goes on to say that I'm not going to shake my head and feel sorry, giving away to the Christians who plead with me. And then he tells him, follow not, don't follow me. I'll have no speaking. I don't want to talk to you at all. I must have my bond. I will have only my bond. And he leaves from there. After Shylock leaves Salerno, he says, it is the most impenetrable cur that ever kept with men. Means that this is the most obstinate hound, referring to Shylock, that he is the most obstinate hound who ever lived among men. Antonio, let him alone. I'll follow him no more with bootless prayers. Antonio says, let him go. I shall follow him no more with vain prayers. He seeks my life. His reason well I know. He says he wants to take my life, and I know very well his reasons. I oft delivered from his forfeitures, many that have at times made moan to me. Therefore he hates me. He says, often have I rescued many people from his penalties, who have from time to time appealed to Antonio. And that is the reason why Shylock hates Antonio. Salerno, I am sure the Duke will never grant this forfeiture to hold. He says that he's sure that the Duke will never allow the penalty to be taken. Antonio, the Duke cannot deny the course of law. The Duke, he cannot refuse to let the law take its place. For the commodity that strangers have with us in Venice, if it be denied, will much impeach the justice of his state. Meaning that the privileges which strangers among them in Venice, they cannot be refused, or it will be a great accusation against the justice of their state, since the trade and business dealings here are among men of all nations, since that the trade and profit of the city consisteth of all nations, meaning that the trade and business dealings are among men of all nations. So he says that it is not possible for the law to deny him justice. Why? Because the privilege which strangers in Venice, means people who this country doesn't belong to, like he was a Jew. So he says that for strangers among them in Venice, they cannot be refused, or it will become a great accusation against the justice of their state, that they have not given justice to a stranger, since trade and business dealings there are among men of all nations. Therefore go. These griefs and losses have so baited me. So he says, so you may go. Those griefs and losses have so reduced him in body that he shall hardly have a pound of flesh left tomorrow to my bloody creditor. Means he's so upset that the grief has actually reduced him so much that he will barely have a pound of flesh left to give to his bloodthirsty creditor, or to Shylock. Well, jailer, on pray God Bassanio come to see me pay his debt, and then I care not. And so he tells the jailer, come, let us go. And he thinks and says, I pray to God that Bassanio may come to see me, that Bassanio is there to see him pay his debt, and then he cares for nothing else. And then he leaves. That was Act 3, Scene 3. I have a worksheet for you. This worksheet is from Act 3, Scene 2. I would like you to do this in your literature notebook. Please attempt it and go through all the videos. In the next video, I will be discussing Scene 4 and then Scene 5. Till then, take care, keep revising, keep working. Thank you. We will meet for the interactive class now.